Welcome to Tai Chi and Circularity. I'm going to talk about the beauty and the power of circles, curve, and three-dimensional spiral force. In Chinese, that's called Chan Suu Jing, often translate as silk reeling force as well, and we're going to do some practice. But before I start, I would like to introduce my colleagues. Lorraine Novell, she has great understanding of Tai Chi, especially Chin style. She's also the master trainer who gave me this idea of the webinar. Lorraine?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome from Albany, New York. It's wonderful that we have people from virtually all over the world at this webinar tonight. It's going to be a great session on spiraling energy. I'm really, really excited about this. But of course, there's always a few housekeeping things that we have to deal with. So those of you that have been with us before, bear with us. Those of you that are new tonight, you are muted and you're not on video. So don't worry about those things. Turn up your sound so you can hear it comfortably. And as you can see, Dr. Lamb's video is doing really well. So occasionally people have trouble with their own broadband or their own computer. Jerry and I will help a little bit on the as much as we can, but you may have to deal with it yourself. You'll notice, those of you with PCs, that you have a Q&A and a chat button. The Q&A, please use that for questions that you would like to ask Dr. Lamb directly. Keep them simple and straightforward. If we don't get to all of them, they will all be answered. We may not be able to get to all of them. The chat is something, if we can help you on the side with something that's wrong, keep it to things that are important. But all the questions will be answered. We'll do everything we can to make this a very smooth webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. My second panelist is Jerry Pearson. And Jerry is one of the most amazing person on such knowledge of body and movements. And Jerry, well, I'm sure he's here. We all have little technical hiccups. So I'm going to press on, and Jerry, I'm sure he's there and he will come up and say hello a little bit later. The spiral force is really interesting. When I started promoting, sharing Tai Chi, telling people about Tai Chi, I used to say to people that when you do Tai Chi, it's good to just get used to something different. For example, we're so used to moving fast, and I try to have people understand that moving slowly can be faster, can be better, and moving in curve and circles can be better than going straight. That took me years to get somewhere. Sometimes I ask people to imagine looking at a full moon or half moon. The curve is so beautiful, and there's a power in that as well. So when you move in a straight line compared to when you move in curve, for example, if there's the incoming force, it's so much easier for you to redirect that force rather than crush each other. Just like when you interact, if someone says something that you're not happy with, it's much better to try to understand and try to see what's happening rather than bang, fight back, and give you your strong negative thoughts. And as things go on, I've been teaching and talking about Tai Chi for nearly as long as I've been doing Tai Chi. I've been doing Tai Chi 45 years, so at least 40 years I've been talking about Tai Chi. And when I thought, okay, maybe it's time for me to move to three-dimensional curve, the spiral force. And people have, I guess, if you have done Tai Chi, you probably have heard of it. If not, it's can be very intriguing for new people to see, right, curve. How do we make the curve three-dimensional? And for the people who know Tai Chi would probably realize many Chan stylists think that spiral force or Chan Suu Jing is patented to Chan style. And of course it isn't. Every Tai Chi style have spiral force. When I started with the traditional Yang style, it was great. And of course, there's curve, circles. The spiral was not so obvious. And that's something that I felt wasn't quite understanding. And when I do the chain style, the thing about chain style spiral force is it's obvious. And it takes a while and lots of practice to understand it. And well, the understanding goes deeper with time and more practice and working with more people. Then when I done different styles and practicing in a schedule. When I put the spiral, because when I understand the direct, the deeper I understand the spiral, the more I realize that every style has the spiral force, but being more subtle can be even more challenging to learn, to express. And so what I'm going to do is to talk and just show, and then you will like to follow me to do some of it just to get a feeling. It's just like when you know the direction, it doesn't matter about what style, what form you feel. If you think of the spiral, you understand how to develop it, then you will grow in your Tai Chi, and it will be really enjoyable. And then I'll give you the 3 steps how to develop your spiral force. The first thing I want to do is demystify the spiral force. The fact is, if all it is if you're moving a curve and you make your curve 3-dimensional, and if you make it this way, it's a subtle, but it's still 3-dimensional. Especially you have a concept in your mind, then it's a spiral. But for the Tai Chi kind of spiral, it needs to come from inside. It's an internal art. And the real energy comes when you coming from inside. So your spiral has to be coordinated with the body. Now, you might have seen some people who demonstrate chain style, and it might look really nice. And there are people, of course, who try to do the spiral, and you see people go like this, and then they go like that, and it's a really nice exercise, a good body exercise, and it can look really dazzling and nice, but that is not quite spiral. So it has to come from your dantian. It's a whole body thing, and being internal, it's sort of subtle, but you know you're directing it in your body using the spiral. So I'm going to show you that. And then when I get you to sort of have a clearer understanding of spiral, and then I'm going to come back and show you how it's actually quite mysterious. As you practice, then you discover the mystery. And that, I think, is like a journey of discovery. But now, once you get the direction, you can develop it and really enjoy. And each time, as you develop more understanding and more your body feeling the spiral, then you get more, I guess, mystified, like a beautiful mountain with mists and beautiful sceneries. So I'm going to start with just explaining a very simple way of how to do a spiral. And I'm going to step back a little so you can see me, my whole body. I'd like you to think of a figure 8 or the symbol of infinity. But let me just get a little bit more my feet and so I'd like you to think of a figure 8 or the sign of infinity, the 8 like this in front of you. And so that is curve. Figure 8 is a curve. Circularity. I'd like you to just trace your figure 8, one hand, in front of you. Now, I'd like you to think of your dantian, and that is the center of your qi. And your dantian move a little bit, and your hands. It's just like a trackball in the laptop computer. You move that trackball a little bit, and your hands move more, and then it dip down, and you move more. So your dantian is controlling it, and your figure eights become more subtle. However, you can feel that you're directing it. So as long as you have a concept of directing from here, moving very, very subtly, and then connect and drive your hands here, and you can bring both hands. So if you want to exaggerate it, you can go a little bigger. And if you like to make it more subtle, you can. Now, so if you haven't joined me, please join me. But I just like you to make sure you're standing up and do a little warm up first. Let's just have a little shake and warm up. And we'll start with just 3 simple warm ups. Start from the neck. Bring your hands up slowly. And push your chin back gently. And then as you push forward, imagine it pushing against a gentle resistance. Keep your body upright but not tense. Bend your neck slowly, slowly, smoothly. And chin back. That's the neck. Now we're going to stretch our spine gently. Bring your hands in front of your chest as though you're carrying a large beach ball. And then the bottom hand is going to come up and you're going to gently stretch and come back. Feel your spine stretch gently. Breathing in as you come in. Breathing out as you stretch. Feel your spine gently stretch. And the last time. Now, the last warm-up, we're going to exercise our knee and do what's comfortable to you. Carry fists comfortable, loose below your hip. Take a small step forward with your left foot and gently forward. Then come back. And again, move to what's comfortable. Whenever you feel you're not comfortable or you're sitting down, then visualize you're doing what I'm doing. Great. Taking your time, moving well within your comfort zone. And when you visualize, you get a lot of health benefit as well. Okay, and then we just have a little shake. Now, we were talking about the figure eight, and we're going to start with your hands. Describe that figure eight in front of you. And thinking of directing from your dantian. Hands moving, so it's not like, but feeling a gentle resistance as you move. Keeping your body supple but upright. And if you're comfortable, bend your knee just a little so you will feel easier to extend the force. So that's a really nice feeling with a gentle curve. Now, if we're going to bring this down, it's just easier to express the other way. We take your figure eight here. Remember directing from your dantian. Then we're going to make that figure eight three-dimensional. So that's down like that. So it doesn't matter which direction, if you move yourself up as before you turn, when you turn, that's where you're pushing down and then up as you cross. And again, remember your dantian directed. There's that conceptual connection between your dantian up and down. And when you practice this, try to gradually make it more subtle. So you are moving up and you're moving down, but very subtly. So then you want to extend that sensation with the dantian. Turn. So now it's part of that figure eight, whichever way you move. And we're going to do a chain style movement because chain style is more obvious with spiral. So it's easier for us to feel that spiral. And then you can apply that sensation, that feeling, that concept into all the other forms. Remember, it's a whole body thing. So it's directed by the dantian, but the force coming from the feet and your leg drives it. So when your hands move this way, your legs turn, your knee turn very subtly. So that generates the power, the stability, and that transfer, then the dantian then express it through your hands. So it's a full body movement. If you feel comfortable to bend your knee slightly and move your toe just a little bit away from being parallel, that will make it more comfortable to do a figure eight. And it will also make it more comfortable to do the chain style leisurely time code. And if you do Tai Chi for energy, Tai Chi for rehabilitation, Tai Chi for heart, all the Tai Chi forms have an extension, leisurely time code. If you do Tai Chi for energy, we do the single whip, which is similar energy. So we're going to start with open and close, and then I'll show you first that what we're going to do, open and close, and then we're going to do a leisurely time code. So if you have done this or similar to this, that's great. If you haven't, it's totally okay. I would like you not to worry too much about the movement, but to understand the energy and where the spiral comes from. So you want to think, if you can bend your knees slightly, toes slightly up, that just help us to be stable and have that supporting power, that driving power through your dantian to our spiral. And if you feel you're sitting down, you just visualize it putting down. Or if you find bending, anytime gets uncomfortable, stand up and just visualize. But anytime you feel uncomfortable too, just have a little shake, move around, make yourself comfortable. So we're going to start with open, close, and it doesn't matter which hand, you just open up the hands and then bring it back together. So if you really think about it, this is the figure eight, except that figure eight we just did, except it's different direction. Both hands go in different direction. So it's a yin and yang complement. Your main focus is in the top hand, but the other hand is supplementary energy. So there's a more yang energy, and that still have the same energy as though the energy expand. And it doesn't matter which side you go first. So I'm just going to face you and do roughly what I'm doing. Make that like the figure eight with one hand, the other hand, the figure eight from different directions. And then it come, instead of joining, it's come closer, still joining, but in a different way. So when you do this, remember the force from the bottom, your dantian direct you to move this way, and the other hand, your dantian, also like that trackball, open up and direct you both ways. And it's not a flat pan. You think of forward a little bit, coming back a little bit, and then with the dantian turning, that's the spiral energy that flows. Let's do that again. From open, close, open up, and closing in. So the movement I explained very clearly in the Tai Chi for heart conditions in the extension, and also, of course, the chain style movements. You can, if you're interested, you can learn that later. Here, it's a concept that you're going to apply to almost any other Tai Chi you do. And don't be too worried about the exactness. Just think of the concept and feel the energy open up, closing in. And if you haven't done Dantian breathing or the Tai Chi breathing before, that's okay. I also explained it in the first lesson of Tai Chi for rehabilitation. It is free on YouTube. It spent most of that lesson explaining the Dantian breathing, which is really important. That's the key of getting your energy move. So again, if you get curious and you haven't been familiar with that, or if you've done Dantian breathing before, I'd like you to revise it again and see in the light of the internal chi directing your Dantian, in your Dantian directing the rest of your body. So from here, feel the three-dimensional foot come closer, and then brush your foot out, turn your palm. So now your one hand is pressing down, the top hand is pointing up, and then as you transfer your weight, you turn over here, cutting across as though that's a huge piece of jelly that you're cutting across here, then standing up on the side as your weight shift to 60% to the right, or start from 60% here. As you move your weight. Now from here, you can see as you turn that your Dantian Xing, and there's a very lovely spiral in both palms, force coming from your feet through the Dantian, direct to the hands. And then as you shift your weight, the first thing with the energy is on the shoulder. Your shoulder goes like, let me exaggerate, like that. Forward and spiral. Then the force go to the elbow. Your elbow, that's, you can see that's three-dimensional from this position to further up, and then transfer to the edge of your hand, cutting through that piece of jelly or giant piece of tofu, and then sink your wrist, and that's where you finally deliver your force. Again, you can see the three-dimensional curve. You can do all that fancy stuff, but if it doesn't come from here, doesn't power stabilize by the hip, it will be just nice exercises, swinging your hands. But if you can feel the energies, your Dantian have a connection, sinking, breathing out, deliver, feel the energy there, then that's a very lovely spiral force. And as you turn the yin hand, though less obvious, it's just a spiral, and it's just as important to complement, like yin and yang complement. You can feel that's moving in coordination, and at the same time, it's coming spiral back, spiral off, and sing. And then you can come back and just finish off that movement. So every Tai Chi movement have a gathering energy, delivering energy. that energy has to do with your breathing. You breathe in oxygen, deliver. And the breathing give you that stimulate to grow the movement of the qi. So breathing and qi are the key core value of Tai Chi. And when you have qi, then that is where you make it spiral powerful, beautiful, because it's coming from internal and the energy is stronger internally. And if you practice this first, start from figure 8, and then just feel it almost like tasting that feelings. And when you get gradually more comfortable, then you can go a little bit lower, like that. And still. Then it's a way to express it more, but do take time. I've been doing Tai Chi 45 years. So one thing that I'm really comforted with is as I grow older, my Tai Chi make me even more strong from inside, more flexible, and I feel that I have freedom of mobility, freedom of doing what I like to do physically, and also help my mind to be, especially when you think of delivering that spiral force. Your mind become clear, serene. You don't think of the other things that bother you so much. And so it's a great training of the body and the mind. And I'm going to show you the other style, Leslie Time called the other style, and explain the spiral where it is. But just before I leave chain style, for those who done Tai Chi for energy or done chain style, you remember the punch. The punch is also obviously very spiral. When you shift your weight back and turn your fists with the control with the dantian, you're applying to here. So slide figure 8 in a smaller curve. And then when you punch out, it goes here, spiral, spiral, spirals, and spiral out. So a straight punch is much easier than getting ready, winding up, gathering, spiral, and spring out. But of course, this is more beautiful and more powerful. And then the whole body, dantian control, weight change, weight shift, deliver, and it doesn't finish. It's like a spring, as though there's a stop. So it's a little faster, a little slower, and then it comes back. So the Tai Chi energy, like the spiral flows, it continues, it moves on. Likewise, the yin hand is just as important. As you come back, your yin hand turn that spiral. So your dantian have two opposite directions, make them coordinate against spiral back to balance and add strength to your force. And your weight shift, your body shift, and to just be more obvious, that's more obvious as long as it's still dantian direct. So it's just 3-dimensional curve direct by your dantian, founded by the strength of your foot, and expressed through your upper limb. And Sung style is Leslie Tanko is similar. It expresses spiral relatively well. If you do a Leslie Tanko, I'll show you first. So do you see the figure 8? Do you see the Dantian control there? Let me just exaggerate it a little bit. Exaggeration is one way to help us to see better. So you step back and you go more spiral back here, spiral up here, spiral forward, delivering. That is very, very obvious spiral. And here's a little spiral here, sinking forward, and again, step forward. So you can do a Sung style just like this, and it's good exercise for the body. But if you put the spiral and make it subtle, step back, here forward is a spiral. You figure 8 this way, but make it more straight. That's a spiral. Coming down, not just straight, but you think of that edge of the figure 8, make it really big figure 8. Then you have a spiral. And from here, there's that little turn and spiral forward again. And when you have spiral, your energy is stronger, it's more elastic. It also makes it flow better. So here's obvious spiral. When they come back, of course, you turn. That's very spiral and challenging to let the joint open so your qi, song your joint to let your qi flow to here, which means not tense, but just let go, gently stretch your joints so you are well balanced. And here, did you see? Coming here, over, spiral, and spiral forward with the yang hand complement itself. So if you do Leslie Tanko, if you just keep that in mind of here's a reaching out energy, he's absorbing, redirecting energy, and if you do it with spiral coming up, it doesn't just come up, but come up with your dantian move and up here in a spiral, very subtle spiral, then it's much stronger to lift up an incoming force, redirect incoming force again, and to deliver, of course, when the spiral force that's delivered is much more powerful than straight. Now, Yang style comes from Chang style, and it changed the Leslie Tanko or Lisa Tanko to a different name called Stroking Bird's Tail. It's actually the same 4 different energies. A wall of energy, reaching out, roll back, redirect, and joint press, and then weight back, redirect, and push and uplifting. Okay, so that is more subtle in terms of spiral energy, but it is there. Now that you have seen the other 2 styles, you can see it's not hard to see forward. So that's a spiral with the dantian, and the forward is not just this way, but it's coming from the bottom up, so it's three-dimensional. And that definitely three-dimensional, reasonably obvious. And again, that's the spiral, three-dimensional. Remember to direct with your weight, your legs, and to join. Redirect incoming force and up. Chang style, people also talk about the 5 bows. Bow and arrow, that bow. The bow are the thing that gather the energy so the arrow can deliver energy. The 5 bows are, here's one bow, energy deliver. Here's the second bow, deliver with the other hand. And your legs turn the other way. So that's one, third, fourth bow. And the most important is your spine. So your spine redirect 5 different spiral force. And that can be challenging mysteriously, but we did that. It wasn't as challenging and mysterious as it is. So let me just come a little closer and explain why it's not as challenging and not as difficult. And let me just elevate myself a tiny little bit. So you can see that the 5 bows, it doesn't have to be always aware of this and that. What happens is there's a step, and if you follow the step and then you practice with that sequence, gradually it all come together, and all we have to do is be mindful doing our Tai Chi with our body and mind being present. So the 3 steps, the first step is the internal energy, the dantian, so the breathing. In breath, expand your dantian. Out breath, contract your dantian, contract your pelvic floor muscle. And out breath is where you deliver force. Anywhere you feel there's a sinking, delivering force. A sinking, delivering force is out breath. And remember, when you learn the dantian breathing, and when you connect it to delivering power, remember that a breathing should be reasonably comfortable. Anytime you feel, oh, I run out of breath, should it be in or out? Don't worry, let go. Your body will take over. And if you feel, oh, I just don't have enough to do an out breath, just forget it, let go. Your body will take over, and gradually, your in and out breath will come. And usually I found the easiest thing and the thing that I do most of the time, not all the time, is when I deliver force, I breathe out, and the rest, I just let go. And the body take care of it. The key about Tai Chi is derived from nature. We guide our body with the law of nature, and we do it following nature. So the nature is not overpress yourself, but taking your time and allow nature to take over. You're uncomfortable in any way, overstrain your muscles, overstretch your body, overstretch your breathing. Don't worry, just let go. And only remember every now and then, if you're expressing force, then breathe out gently. And then your force will be there, because Tai Chi's internal spiral force need to have that internal first. So then when you have the breathing and understanding where the force goes to, without the force, it's just moving. Then you need to connect your dantian to your hands. And I think the figure 8, it's a nice exercise. You dantian, move your hands as you, and not like that, but internally move. You feel the internal transference of energy as you turn your dantian. And that can apply to any form of Tai Chi you do. Be mindful of connection of your dantian to your hands. And then when you do that, I think by the time you being mindful of this, then of course when you connect, also posture upright so we don't hunch down. And so by the time you feel the energy and have the connection develop, then you probably find the last step is very easy. The last step is the stance. Remember, I was just showing you the stance of being mindful of bending your knee and bend to what's comfortable, never too much. If you look down, if you can't see your toe, you're bending too deep. So slight bend, but that slight bend, being aware of the weight shifting together with your hands and your body move, then you have the 5 bows in action, a coordinated 5 bows. Tai Chi principles, all the other principles that you learn, the essential principle, work together with gathering energy, delivering energy, and really importantly, you don't have to be aware of everything I say just now. It took me 45 years to understand this, and it become more clear as I get more practice. And that is what's so mysterious, because it's just a 3-dimensional curve. What is so special? But when you keep practicing and follow the Tai Chi, then you find there's a different feeling. Like some really refined food that tastes delicious in a different way. And as you climb the Tai Chi mountain, you can see a more broad, beautiful view. You can sort of a different stage. To me, it's mysterious that, wow, wow, that's delicious. And so that's mysterious. The mystic comes from your work as well. I'm hoping to give you the direction of how I explore the spiral force over 45 years. And I also like you to know that as you explore it, there's beautiful feelings. There's nice scenery for you to see. And it's not just the same as everybody else. It has its own beauty for you, depends on how much effort you put into it. And the great thing is it makes us, Tai Chi make us stronger from inside. Make our immune system stronger to fight infections, to fight cancer, make our body stronger so we'll have more freedom to do what we're doing. You know, I met people who come to me, many people come to me in wheelchairs, and they're walking with a walking stick. For me or you who's walking without walking sticks, you don't realize how much freedom that person has gained. And every bit of freedom is joyful, delicious. And I think Spiral just a wonderful tool to enable us to gain more freedom and more beautiful views. Let me see if there's some question I can answer. Lorraine, do you have any questions?
Yes, there are a few questions, Dr. Lam. With all the spiraling energy, uh, is there any special health benefits that come from the spiraling?
Great. Yes, definitely. The If you just think we move one dimension or two-dimensional, then of course it's good exercise for two dimension. But if we do three dimension, like for example, just the hands going, you can see that the inside our hands, the arteries, the veins, the tendons, the muscles, they all get gently stretched and squeezed. So the internal muscles need exercise and stretch to make it stronger. But the veins, the artery, the lymphatic fluid will drain much cleaner as you go, like squeezing a sponge. And then when you go back the other spiral, then more blood circulation, more lymphatic fluid rush back to the tissues to do its job of nourishment and cleaning the toxic stuff. And the function, your body, blood, lymphatic fluid circulates, your joint gets exercise. And of course, your chi move better when you are in three-dimensional thing too. And it's more engaging for the mind, so help your mind to be more serene and more tranquil. Well, it's a whole body like a Tai Chi exercise. The benefit are just so many. I might say the greatest benefit is the enjoyment. When you do it, it feels so good. So is Jerry here? Would Jerry
I'm not
like?
sure.
Okay, maybe you couldn't get in, but Lorraine, next question, please.
The next question, could you go back for a moment to when you were working on the figure eight and talk about the weight shifting in the figure eight?
Sure. I think it would be fun for you to work it out yourself too. When your figure eight's over here, where do you think your weight should be? And when you go to the other side, your weight is usually on where this side is. And then because you shift very gently, your weight shift very gently. And it depends on how far you can bend within your comfort zone. Then you can feel that you don't need to bend much, especially when we do chain style. The part that is more subtle with chain style is the weight shift. When we do chain style, as we shift our weight, we don't bend that deep. And then we change. It's very subtle. Like 45, 65. So my weight's here, but it's not that obvious. Whereas when we do yang style, it's 70, 30. The weight shift is more obvious. But nonetheless, it still shifts the same way. Your weight goes to where the energy is. And when you do a figure eight, it goes to, again, where your energy is. Next question, please.
Another one. And how does Fajin fit into all of this? All the circularity, all the shifting of the weight, how does Fajin fit into this?
Fa Jing is a really beautiful word. It sounds so nice. Fa means deliver, Jing means force or energy. And if you think of what I say just now, what am I doing when I say delivering energy? That seems to me that's Fa Jing. So Fa Jing is delivering energy, like that's delivering energy. And where does it go with the spiral? As we talk about, it started gathering energy, that's the in-breath, and delivering energy is the out-breath. That's where you Jing, and then it move on to the next. So the Tai Chi energy move in rhythm, and you gather more energy as you go. That's what it is. I don't use the word Fat Jing so much because it just sometimes people misread it as though you had to punch. But it's really the energy. You deliver your energy, moving on, and deliver your energy and moving on. And that's for me, it as of course means the same thing, but the words just make it more what Tai Chi is, internal and energy. One more question, please.
One more. Okay. The best exercises to develop spiral force.
Oh, I thought I'd spend my hour doing that.
Is there anything else other than playing Chen style, which is what I would suggest?
Oh, absolutely. Any Tai Chi is there. What I thought you could do is follow the 3 steps. First, the first training, that's what I talk about how to do it effectively, is your breathing, feel your energy, and then breathing out where you deliver energy or where you fa jing. And then you connect that dantian through your hands and then coordinate it with your body. And the exercise, it's nice to do the figure 8 because it's so simple and yet so spiral and so easy to do. But when you use your breathing, the way to deliver energy, and then bring it to that figure 8, that allow you to just feel a more obvious ways of how spiral travel. And then you can incorporate it to any Tai Chi you do, whether you feel there was a spiral or not. There is, and it might be just very subtle, but once you know it's there, it will take a different meaning. The direction become clearer, and then you can feel, oh yes. And every now and then, when you feel the spiral and the power, it's just like great food. It tastes delicious, and it might just take that second of make you feel so good for the whole day. That's what Tai Chi does. And I would answer my question later on to go to the global community, and I would try other ways. I'll email you to answer all the rest of the question. Meanwhile, before we go, Lorraine, would you like to say something about this webinar?
Certainly. I was particularly taken with when you talked about leisurely tucking the robe in both Chen style and Sun style, so people see the circularity in Sun style. So I thought that was really great. And all the stuff that you've put on the table, so to speak, tonight gives us lots and lots and lots to think about. One thing I would say to everybody in the audience, if you don't play Chen style, don't write it off as I can't do it. Try it. We make accommodations for everybody so we can get everybody to experience it. It's too beautiful a family style to pass up. Of course, it's beautiful like Chen style, like a Sun style and Yang style and Wu style and Wu Hao style. They all have their own things, but Chen is special. Try it. You'll like it.
Thank you, Lorraine, so much. There are so many styles, and of course, within each style, there's differences. It's just like us, people from different countries. We have different culture, we have different color, we have different looks, and but deep down there, humans are the same. So is Tai Chi. The principles of Tai Chi are the same, no matter what style. Spiral force is there with everybody. There's kindness in everybody's heart, and there's inner strength in everybody's. And Tai Chi, with that understanding of nature, does help to bring the best and make us stronger in the positive points. So whatever you want to do, Tai Chi can help. And certainly, I'm so fascinated with spirals, and I think it's another very great tools for me to explore the Tai Chi world and to build a common among us. So I'm trying not to, I love all the styles that I practice. I try not to sort of to emphasizing one. But if you look at some of the Tai Chi for Health programs, for example, Tai Chi for rehabilitation, 3 movement, 3 different styles. And um, like Lorraine says, because I can see we both love Chan style very, very much. And the Tai Chi for Energy 1 and 2, that's build in the Chan style and make the spiral force more obvious. And then when it combined with Sun style, with that internal energy, I found that I practice it regularly and I found it improved my Sun style and it improved my Chan style as well. And sometimes going to basics, the basic like a figure 8 that I practice, I teach every now and then, it also enhanced my understanding. And I think that's the wonder of Tai Chi. There's depth and there's diversity, and then you can choose whichever suits you best. So enjoy your Tai Chi, and I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow, where I'm going to talk about the Tai Chi for Health program. How does one person's dream 20 years ago reach everywhere in the world, well over 15 million people? That must be because everybody want to do the same thing, health and enjoy exercise. And I'll look forward to see you tomorrow. And thank you, Lorraine. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me.